You keep saying you want a better life. You want more money, more strength, more respect, more freedom. But wanting something means nothing if you are not willing to commit to it. Because the moment things get hard, most people turn around. They make excuses. They tell themselves tomorrow will be different. And then tomorrow becomes next week, next month, next year. You have to understand something. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's going to wake up every morning and force you to become the person you know you can be. That decision belongs to you. Commitment means you keep moving when you are tired. You keep working when nobody is watching. You keep going when the results are slow. It means you stop negotiating with your weaker self. Because every time you quit, you teach yourself that quitting is acceptable. But every time you keep your word, you become stronger. So decide what you want. Decide who you want to become. And then make one choice. Either commit completely or stay exactly where you are. Your future will be built by that decision. You keep saying you want a better life. You want more money, more strength, more respect, more freedom. You talk about your goals. You think about your dreams. And sometimes you even imagine what your life could look like if everything finally worked out. But wanting something is easy. Almost everyone wants something. The difference is whether you're willing to commit when the excitement disappears. A lot of people love the idea of success, but they don't love what success demands. They want the result without the sacrifice. They want the strong body without the hard training. They want the money without the long hours. They want confidence without facing the situations that make them uncomfortable. They want respect without first becoming someone worthy of respect. Real commitment starts when you stop asking, do I feel like doing this today? And start asking, what needs to be done? There will be mornings when you feel tired. There will be days when nobody notices your effort. There will be moments when you work hard and see almost no progress. That is where commitment becomes real. Anyone can work when they are motivated. Anyone can move when everything feels easy. The person who keeps going when the excitement is gone is the person who starts separating themselves from everyone else. You don't need to have everything figured out today. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a decision. Pick the goal that matters to you. Understand what it requires and stop giving yourself permission to walk away every time the road becomes difficult. You keep waiting for the perfect moment to start. You tell yourself you need more confidence, more knowledge, more money, more time, or maybe just one more day to get yourself together. But the perfect moment does not exist. If you keep waiting until you feel ready, you can spend years standing in the same place while your life moves forward without you. Most people think confidence comes before action. It usually doesn't. Confidence is built because you act. You take the first step, you make mistakes, you learn, and then you take another step. That is how you become stronger. Think about anything difficult you have ever learned. You probably weren't good at it in the beginning. You had to feel uncomfortable. You had to make mistakes. You had to look foolish sometimes, but you kept going. And eventually what once felt impossible became normal. Your goals work the same way. Stop asking yourself whether you feel ready. Ask yourself whether the goal is important enough to begin if it is. Start with what you have. Use the time you have. Learn as you go. You might not know exactly how you will reach the destination, and that's okay. You only need to know what the next step is. Take it. The truth is, fear will always give you reasons to wait. Your mind will always find another excuse. But every day you delay, you strengthen the habit of delaying. Every day you act, you strengthen the habit of taking control. So don't wait for confidence to appear. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Start before you feel ready, because action is what creates the strength you are waiting for. Weakness doesn't always look like failure. Sometimes weakness looks like choosing comfort when you know you should be working. It looks like staying in bed when you promised yourself you would get up. It looks like scrolling for hours when you said you would focus. It looks like avoiding difficult conversations because you are afraid of what someone might think. These choices may feel small in the moment, but they slowly shape the person you become. The problem is not that comfort feels good. Of course it does. The problem is when comfort becomes your default choice. When every difficult situation makes you look for an escape, you train yourself to avoid pressure instead of handling it. And the more you avoid difficult things, the bigger they start to feel. A workout becomes harder because you keep skipping it. A business idea becomes more frightening because you never take the first step. A personal goal feels impossible because you keep telling yourself you will start tomorrow. You don't become stronger by always making life easy. You become stronger by doing things that require effort, patience, and courage. There will be days when you want to take the easy path. There will be moments when your mind tells you that you deserve a break, that you can start later, that one more excuse won't matter. But those moments are exactly where your habits are being built. You don't need to destroy every comfort in your life. You simply need to stop allowing comfort to control your decisions. When something matters to you, be willing to feel uncomfortable for it. Push yourself a little further. Do the work when you don't feel like it. Face what you've been avoiding. That is where real growth begins. Real commitment is not proven when everything is going well. It is proven when things become difficult and you still decide to continue. When the plan works, staying committed is easy. When you see results every week, you feel motivated. But life doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you will put in the effort and see nothing happen. Sometimes you will work hard and still fail. Sometimes people will doubt you, criticize you, or tell you that what you're doing will never work. That is the moment when commitment becomes real. Anyone can make a promise when they feel inspired. Anyone can say, I'm going to change my life when they are excited. But when the excitement disappears, your decision is tested. You have to be willing to continue without applause, without attention, and without immediate results. There will be mornings when you don't want to get out of bed. There will be workouts you want to skip, tasks you want to avoid, and goals that suddenly feel too far away. You may even start questioning whether all the effort is worth it. That's normal. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. But you cannot allow every difficult feeling to control your actions. If you only work when you feel motivated, your progress will always depend on your mood. Instead, build the habit of doing what you said you would do. Keep showing up, keep learning, keep adjusting when something doesn't work. Commitment doesn't mean you never struggle. It means struggle doesn't automatically make you quit. The hardest days often reveal how serious you really are about becoming the person you say you want to be. Every excuse has a cost, even when you don't notice it immediately. You tell yourself you don't have enough time, you're too tired, you need better circumstances, or you'll start tomorrow. In the moment, the excuse makes you feel better because it removes the pressure. But the problem is that tomorrow keeps moving further away, and the life you want keeps getting delayed. Think about how many times you've said, I'll do it later. Maybe it was something small. Maybe it was one workout, one important task, one difficult conversation, or one step toward a goal you've been thinking about for months. One delay doesn't seem dangerous, but repeated delays become a habit, and habits eventually become part of your life. Your excuses don't care about your future. They only protect your comfort right now. Sometimes you genuinely need rest. Sometimes circumstances are difficult, and there are real problems you cannot control. But there is a difference between having a real obstacle and constantly using obstacles as a reason not to try. You have to be honest with yourself. Ask yourself what you are really avoiding. Is it failure? Is it embarrassment? Is it hard work? Are you afraid that you might give everything you have and still not succeed? Those questions can be uncomfortable, but they can also reveal what is holding you back. You don't need to eliminate every excuse overnight. Start by catching yourself when you make one. Notice the moment you begin negotiating with yourself. Then take one small action instead of continuing the argument in your head. Make the call, start the workout, open the book, finish the task. Take the first step. Your future is built through those small decisions, especially the ones you make when your mind is giving you every reason to wait. Motivation feels powerful when you have it, but motivation is not something you can depend on every day. Some mornings you wake up excited and ready to work. You feel focused, confident, and full of energy. On those days, taking action feels easy. But then there are other days when you wake up tired, distracted, or frustrated. You don't feel inspired at all. Those are the days that reveal whether you have discipline. Discipline begins when motivation disappears. If you only work toward your goals when you feel motivated, your progress will always be inconsistent. Your mood will decide how much effort you give. One good day might be followed by 3 days of doing nothing. You may start something with excitement and then abandon it when the excitement fades. That is why you need a system that doesn't depend on how you feel. You don't have to feel excited about going to the gym to train. You don't have to feel inspired to study. You don't have to feel confident before starting something difficult. Sometimes you simply have to do what you promised yourself you would do. There will be days when discipline feels boring. There will be days when nobody praises you. There will be days when the results are invisible. But every time you keep going despite that, you strengthen your ability to control your actions instead of letting your emotions control you. Discipline is not about being perfect. You will have bad days. You will make mistakes. What matters is that you don't use one bad day as an excuse to abandon the entire journey. Get back up, return to the work, and keep building the habits that move you toward the life you want. There comes a point when you have to stop making promises to yourself and actually make a decision. Not a decision you make when you're excited, emotional, or inspired, but a decision you make when you understand that your future depends on what you do consistently. You don't need to know every detail of the journey. You don't need to have the perfect plan. You don't need to know exactly how everything will turn out. You need to decide what matters and take responsibility for moving toward it. A lot of people keep one foot in and one foot out. They say they want success, but they still protect themselves from failure. They say they want change, but they refuse to leave their comfort zone. They want a different life while continuing to make the same choices. That creates confusion because part of them is moving forward while another part is constantly pulling them back. Commitment means making your choice clear. If you decide to build something, give it your attention. If you decide to improve yourself, accept that improvement will require uncomfortable days. If you decide to chase a goal, understand that there will be setbacks along the way. You don't have to pretend the road will be easy. You simply have to stop treating difficulty as a reason to quit. There will always be another distraction, another excuse, another reason to wait until tomorrow. If you keep giving those things control, your goals will remain ideas instead of becoming reality. Make the decision, then back it with action. When you fail, learn. When you fall behind, adjust. When you lose confidence, remember why you started. You don't need to feel powerful every day. You need to keep your direction clear and refuse to let temporary discomfort decide your future.